public enemy number one, hunted all over the world. Messy job. Call on LDV, Litter Defense Volunteers. Spotless, clean, tidy. With good humor, they strike against public enemy number one wherever he operates. Litter costs you money. Litter Defense Volunteers stop litter, save the cost of picking it up. With more public help, they'd do even better. Keep litter to yourself. Put it here.
Britain is a beautiful country, not a litter bin. Keep Britain tidy.
The last place in the world to leave a bottle is a beach.
Lovely animals, aren't they? Isn't it a shame that diseases like foul pest, swine fever and foot and mouth can decimate the nation's livestock? In one foot and mouth epidemic, we slaughtered and destroyed over 200,000 cattle, 100,000 sheep, and 113,000 pigs. Now, one of the main risks to animals is uncooked food and scraps getting into their feed. On the farm, we boil it all, but that's a specialised job. When you get uncooked scraps like these, you should dispose of them safely, like this, and never let them get to farm animals. Isn't that right?
We're not supposed to go in there.
Oh, go on. There's a gap down there. A gang of kids broke in yesterday. I saw them.
Pass me that bit of wood.
A 66,000-volt shock killed a boy today when he broke into a substation. The electricity board warns children to keep away from substations. Never try to get toys back yourself. Otherwise, you may not live to play with them again.
And Great Britain is going to win its first gold medal in swimming since 1960. And it's Wilkie! And it's a new world record for David Wilkie. What a swim!
Keep the elbows a bit higher, fingers together.
I was lucky. I learned to swim when I was 3 years old. So by the time I won that gold medal at the Montreal Olympics, I'd been swimming for nearly 20 years. But some kids never manage to learn, and they just grow up thinking that they can't swim. Josephine, why did you learn to swim?
Well, I felt I had to, really. Everybody else was swimming, and I wanted to.
Philip, why did you start swimming?
Because it was important and it could save your life one time if you fell in the river or something.
Were you not scared of the water to start with?
Yes, I was.
And how did you overcome that fear?
Well, I just had to pluck courage up. Well, there's nothing to fear because the water is just normal, and once you get in there, you feel great.
And if you had a friend that couldn't swim, how would you tell him to go about learning to swim?
Go to a learn to swim class. It could save their life sometime.
Not being able to swim often means you miss out on a lot of fun with your friends. So if you'd like to learn, but you think it's too late, or you think you're just one of those people who'll never learn, go along to your local swimming baths and ask them about lessons. They'll teach you quickly and safely, and even though you don't make the next Olympics, you'll have a lot of fun.
It's great fun, you know, to be able to swim.
Can you imagine being frightened of every friendly animal you meet? Imagine rabies in Britain. All dogs will be leashed and muzzled. Foxes will be destroyed. Wildlife at risk. No animal may be moved in or out of the infected area. All cats will be restrained.
Oh, hey! Get off, get off.
Just one animal smuggled in could lead to all this. So if you suspect anyone of smuggling, tell the police. If rabies breaks out, any animal found loose will be seized, taken away, and if it is not claimed, destroyed. Rabies is a killer. We must keep rabies out.
Attention! This is an official announcement. An outbreak of foot and mouth has been confirmed for this area, so take immediate precautions to stop it spreading to your stock. In particular, close off all entrances to your farm except the main one, across which you should lay a straw mat. Apply fresh disinfectant to it daily, provide facilities for disinfecting boots and vehicles, and keep all unnecessary visitors away.
If you see any symptoms of foot and mouth in your stock, frothing, lameness, or anything unusual, take no chances. Phone us immediately. And please, everyone, keep away from farms.
These are not telephone wires. They're overhead power lines carrying high voltages. Without them, lots of people wouldn't have any electricity. So when you go out to enjoy yourself, play safe and make sure there are no overhead lines about.
Watch out!
Oh, God.
Those wires are live.
If you want to have fun and stay alive, keep away from overhead power lines. Then you know you'll be playing safe.
This is an emergency.
Day and night, the ambulances are bringing the sick and badly injured to the hospitals.
It's my finger.
I'm afraid you'll have to wait.
The patient's heart begins to falter.
Cardiac arrest.
This is an emergency.
Actually, I don't think I pulled a muscle.
This is an emergency.
If the heart team can get there in time, they can save a life.
Excuse me. I'm afraid you'll have to wait.
Anyone who goes to an emergency department will be seen. But the real emergencies come first. And you may have to wait. So contact your own doctor first.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry I'm late. I know I had to wait hours for the bus. I am sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Glenda.
Oh,
I'm so glad you could come along and star in my latest film.
Is this a film what you wrote?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, what's it about?
Blood.
Blood? No, I can't. No, I'm sorry. No, I can't. No, it's the needle.
The needle, is that what you're afraid of?
Please, as a friend, don't ask me to do this. Can't the needle. Can't. No, I'm not. No, don't make me do this. Please, don't make me do this. Please,
You're overacting.
Please. How dare you? I am not overacting.
No, really? Meet Miss Jackson. She's volunteered to give blood. Sit down, Glenda.
You told me you'd take me to Hollywood.
No, Cricklewood.
Oh, so do I sign this now? Yes, please.
I think it's very nice of you, Glenda, and
I think it's very nice of me. Can we talk about this?
No, come on.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Glenda. She's just going to test my blood now.
I see.
There you are.
Is that all you give?
No, that's just the start. That's just to see if your iron level is okay.
Oh, I see.
All right? Thank you. OK, now it's your turn.
Another fine mess you've got me into.
Now, that didn't hurt, did it?
Not hurt, no.
Was it painful?
Not at all.
So you
For
didn't
once,
need-
he told me the truth.
Nothing to it, is there?
Absolutely nothing at all.
Because it's the first time for you, isn't it?
Not the first time for you, though.
The second time, actually.
Only the second?
Oh, yes.
The way you've been going on, I thought you got one of those silver medals or
Well,
bronze hearts or whatever they get.
Well, it was just show business talk. You came on the bus, didn't you?
It's because you were too mean to send a car.
I'll give you the bus fare later.
27p.
Will you take a check?
I take back everything I said. It's extremely easy, totally painless. I haven't felt this virtuous in a long time.
Glenda, just because you're a blood donor, there's no need to make a production out of it.
Oh, all right. Let's go and have some biscuits and tea, Ern.
Right. Tea, Ern? Tea, Ern? Tea, Ern? I asked you not to do that. Drive you mad, little fat friend. This boy's a fool. What do you think of it, sir?
Hello. Yes, you might know I've got a little daughter, and this is her, Francesca. Hello. Well, being a parent isn't all fun and games. They tell me I'm going through the easy part at the moment. They must be joking. You see, when she gets older, that's when I'm going to have to start trotting out all those stories about talking to strangers. Well, it's all very well. She can't be expected to know who the bad guys are because she'll take kindly to any adult that's kind to her. So you have to tell her things like not to talk to strangers, that somebody who gives you a sweet is not bound to be a nice person, and of course smart girls don't accept lifts in strange cars, do they? And of course she must tell you where she's going, and you must tell her when she's going to get back. But it's not only little girls that must know these things, is it? It's little boys as well. If I have sons, I'll be telling them the same things. So our children must learn to look after themselves, and we must tell them how to steer clear of the villain. Francesca, Francesca, say bye.
Why do they do it? I know what I'd like to do to them.
If they see anything nice, anything decent,
They just have to spoil it.
it's the same in the park.
They've knocked out all the lampposts. And who pays out? We do.
Oh, what's them doing it?
Oh, say anything.
What's the point?
Kids do as they please.
Well, look at the state of the new underpass.
What about the bus shelter?
Oh, and how long had that been up? About a week.
If that. Oh, the police ought to do something. It's the parents, isn't it?
Well, we're parents and our children don't go around vandalising.
Well, we hope they don't. But we don't always know where they are, not all the time, do we?
If I thought one of mine was behaving
I
like
think it's
this,
the
I'd...
schools.
Oh, it makes me so angry.
Try telling them off. They'll laugh in your face.
You certainly can't reason with them.
So there's nothing we can do about it. Well, I just don't believe it.
There is something you can do. Ring the police immediately. You need not give your name, but dial 999. You might save someone's property. You could save someone's life.
Judy, I thought the Fawcett's were away.
They are, to the end of the month.
Well, they've got visitors.
Must have come back unexpected.
If something doesn't look right, tell the police. Hundreds of cars are stolen every day. If you're suspicious, note the number and tell the police. If there's something funny going on, dial 999. There are many hundreds of calls every 24 hours. Every one is investigated. Often there's nothing to it, but sometimes you save a neighbor an awful lot of trouble. The police don't mind how many calls they get, and remember, the next call might be about your house.
That was a game and a half, wasn't it, Fred? Yeah, but we should have had it sewn up by half-time. What we need is a bit more skill up front.
Hey, how you getting home? Bus?
No, I've got the new car with me.
New, eh? Oh, you must be doing all right.
Well, it's in fantastic nick, though. Only 10,000 on the clock. Goes like a bomb.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a lift home. Thanks. We can hear the football results on the radio. Only just round the corner. You can't miss it, it's white. That's funny. I could have sworn I left it here.
Remember, lock your car. Check the doors, the windows, the boot. And please, take the keys with you. Watch out. There's a thief about.
Go on, John!
Do you know where your lad's going tonight? Children, always so trusting, happy, unafraid. What a pity to have to remind them about the darker side of life. But it must be done. Remind them of danger. Danger from going with strangers. Especially strangers in cars, enticing children to get in with plausible stories.
Would you like to get in my car? Mummy sent me to fetch you.
You naughty, naughty, naughty man, I don't believe you. Take that, and that, and that.
Now then. Always remind your children about the danger from strangers, but do it in such a way as you don't frighten them. And make sure you always know where they are, any time of the day.
That's the way to do it.
I've got my in-laws coming today, so it's got to be something a bit special. I set the oven at 350 degrees, which is gas mark 4, and on the top shelf I've got some spiced chicken, then some rice to go with it, and next door, Dad's favourite, bread and butter pudding. On the bottom shelf, some leek and potato soup, which is simmering away quite happily. Cooking everything together really does save fuel, and nowadays I think a good cook is an economical cook.
Energy sense is common sense. Save it.
It's surprising what you can do to save fuel, especially if you've got central heating. First, you can make sure that it's serviced regularly and working efficiently. And if the system has a time clock, you could try adjusting it to a shorter time interval. And turning down the thermostat a bit, that'll help with the fuel bills.
Energy sense is common sense. Save it.
Over 1,000 people a year still get injured by fireworks.
For parents to supervise children's activities during...
More than 2/3 of them are children. Do you know where your child is in the weeks up to November the 5th? Out collecting? Getting fireworks from older children? Parents, where's your child tonight? Where's that boy?
Yes, there's a TV set on number 5. It's in the front room. And they're watching Columbo.
If you don't have a TV license, it won't take us long to find you.
You can put almost any frail object in a box, and provided it's held firm, you can shake it about no end. But if it's loose in a box, that's another matter. A car is a box on wheels, but a box just the same, and it can still get shaken about. And if you're in it and not wearing a seatbelt, you're in trouble because you're a loose object. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are, you can be the world's most experienced driver, but to the law of gravity, you're the world's most experienced loose object. And it can be very unfunny. Now, an egg hasn't got much in the way of brains, but you have. Wear a seatbelt. And if the box gets shaken up, you stand every chance of not getting broke. No matter how short the journey, nag yourself to remember this drill. Clunk the car door and click the seatbelt. Clunk, click, every trip.
Here's how to remember the Green Cross code. First, find a safe place to cross, then stop. Stand on the pavement near the curb. Look all round for traffic and listen. If traffic is coming, let it pass. When there is no traffic near, walk straight across the road. Keep looking and listening for traffic while you cross.
Stay!
Well, now we'll all remember the Green Cross code and use it. Splink!
It's easy when you know how. But how many men know the correct way to lift heavy loads? This man, for instance. Now he'll be laid up for weeks, all because he didn't know how to lift the correct way. But he's only one of nearly 50,000 men who injure themselves when handling goods every year. Now for the correct way. Feet apart for good balance, load close to the body, knees bent. Now straighten the legs and come up gradually like a human lift. It's easy when you know how.
Just look at them. They must be crackers. A double-decker bus could be right on top of them and they'd never even see it. Hey, you must be out of your tiny minds. When you cross the road, always use the green cross code. Keep your wits about you and keep looking and listening. Great. See you, girls. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
You know, you should use a pedestrian crossing. You should look right, look left, look right again, and then, if all's clear, proceed with caution.
Oh, thank you very much, Gaffer.
I say, Chappie, where do you think you're off to?
Well, it's my crossing when I put my foot on it, and you're supposed to stop.
Oh, one of those, are you? Yes. Well, I know something about this. Let me see, what is it? Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're gonna look, Daddy-O, like you're gonna make with the people.
Of course. So there.
But you're supposed to proceed with caution when approaching a crossing. Thank you. That's just what I was gonna say.
Eh? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And you're not supposed to dawdle. You're gonna get along. Yahoo!
Quite. You see?
Ha! Come along, missus. Don't dawdle. Oh, what are you doing? No, young man, my frozen peas. No, what about me peas? But seriously, folks, everyone should use the crossings properly. See you.
Come back here. I tell you what, if you go on like that, you could be in big trouble. Now look, when you get to the curb, stop, okay? Make sure the road is absolutely clear. That's part of the Green Cross Code. Now let's see you do it properly. That's better. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
A tragic, needless accident. But why did it happen? The driver checks the traffic on his right, the road seems to be clear, and he pulls out. But if we look again from the driver's angle, we can see his problem. Visibility isn't good, but if only he'd checked again, he would have seen the motorcyclist approaching. That car driver will be more careful next time. For the motorcyclist, there isn't going to be a next time. So motorists, be particularly careful at junctions. Think once, think twice, think bike.
Every morning the same. This bus will get her there on time. The next one, 5 minutes late. And time seems to be so important. Hundreds of people are killed or injured each year running for buses, just to save a few minutes. It's not worth the risk.
This evening, young Billy Blunders has borrowed the keys to the family car. He's looking forward to an exciting night out, and he's got every confidence in his driving ability, which is more than his dad has.
What does he mean he's gonna put his foot down? I'll show him what putting your foot down means. Stupid. What? Hello? Me Dandro's back again. Hold up. Me luck will be in here.
Hello, love. Clear off.
Oh, well, can't win them all. I know. I wonder what that little Karen's doing tonight.
You could meet Billy Blunders on your way home from work. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Billy Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click. Meet Mr. Blunders. Off to work, and as usual, lots on his mind. The sort of chap you could bump into at any time.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, how can anyone spend that amount of money? What does she do with it? Must be sending food parcels to her mother. Petrol. Let's get some petrol. Oh, no. I just remembered her mother's coming this weekend. Blooming women, who needs them? Oh, dear, I say.
You might meet Mr. Blunders on your way to the shops. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Mr. Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click. Today, Mrs. Blunders is off to the shops. So naturally, she's got a lot on her mind. After all, she mustn't forget anything.
What about a nice bit of fish with white sauce? Oh, no, we had fish yesterday. Oh, dear. Oh, look, Wilson's have got a sale. That reminds me. I must phone the vet. Spaghetti with Brussels sprouts. No, I'll go to the butcher's first. Oh, bother, they're closed. Well, it'll just have to be fish. You'll never notice.
You might meet Mrs. Blunders driving down the high street. And no matter how well you think you know the road, no matter how sensibly you drive, Mrs. Blunders could be round the next corner. That's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click.
Pelican Crossing. The light's green. Carry on, Jones.
Don't panic! Captain Manning, the light's flashing. What do we do?
One continues to cross. If one's already on the crossing, there's plenty of time.
Precisely. Carry on, Jones.
One shouldn't start. One shouldn't start to cross.
That's wrecking, Wilson. That's wrecking.
The flashing green man means don't start to cross the road. Learn your blinking pelican signals.
It's the Pelican Crossing. When the red man's on, pedestrians wait, cause drivers may go, is what the green light states. Just press the button and you soon learn. The green man's on and it's your turn. And when the green man's flashing and the amber too, this is what you've gotta do. Pedestrians don't start to cross. Your life's more important than the time that's lost. And drivers, just you listen here. Only go ahead when the crossing's clear. When you walk and when you drive, obey the Pelican and stay alive. Learn how to use the Pelican Crossing. Come on. Get your eyes tested, Napoleon. Can't you see the lights are changed?
The flashing amber light on the Pelican Crossing means you can only go if the crossing's clear, Miss Rogers.
Well, I'll soon clear it, all right.
You're not meant to edge forward and harass the pedestrians.
Who says so, the vicar?
Actually, sir,
No, I say so. Oh.
the flashing amber light means don't go unless the crossing's clear. Learn your blinking pelican signals.
Someone watching this program is going to be burgled tonight. Who? Where? When? There's no way of knowing until it happens. But when it does, you could be the first to know. Remember, if it opens, lock it. Lock it. Lock it.
Not everyone in a supermarket is there to shop. At least, not from the shelves. Make sure your purse is out of sight. Don't make it easy for the thief. Watch out for your purse before someone else does.
I said to her, I said, if that's how you feel, I don't know what you mean, she said. I said, oh, yes, you do. She knew all right. Anyway, to cut a long story short... Oh, my purse.
Look after your purse before someone else does.
Can you describe it, colour?
I mean, a bike's a bike. How do you describe a bike?
Big, awkward-looking handlebars. I don't really know what they're called. Got a lot of parts on it.
If you have a bicycle but can't really describe it.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't lock my bike. I didn't think it necessary. I just left it in my back way and...
And you leave your bike without a lock.
I'd rather not see what's in the saddlebag. It's personal.
And leave valuables in your saddlebag.
I didn't know there was one on it. What's the frame number?
And you can't even remember the frame number.
Didn't you think to lock it, sir?
No. No one lock-pinched it round here.
Well, somebody pinched it, didn't they?
You may well lose your bike for good.
This is the second bike in 2 years. You think you'll be able to find it, mister?
You'll not believe this, Sarge. Someone's just nipped me bike.
It's very likely that 400 of you will be injured in your cars tomorrow. You'll be within 6 miles of home and doing less than 30. And it's going to happen to a lot of you ladies. You'll be shopping, collecting the kids, going to the laundrette. For some of you, the face you start out with in the morning won't be the same face you end up with by the evening. Why let it happen? Clunk, click, it's so simple. Clunk the car door, click the seat belt, even if you are just going round the corner, clunk, click every trip.
If you mix cross-ply and radial tyres on the same axle, or use cross-ply on the rear when you've radials on the front, you might not live to regret it. Cross-ply and radial tyres. Check how you mix them.
It can happen anywhere, to anyone. An ordinary street, a moment's thoughtlessness. If there isn't a crossing nearby, be extra careful. Use your eyes and ears before you cross the road and all the way across. You can't argue with a car. Eyes and ears. It's your lookout.
Today's traffic, today's driving problems, not if you're in control, but are you? Make sure you can cope. Keep your distance.
Next time you go out in the dark, get yourself noticed. Wear something light, something reflective, or carry a newspaper. Just get yourself noticed. Wear something light.
Hey, you two, come here. How old are you?
9.
Well, if you want to live to be 10, you better learn to stop at the curb. And I mean stop, right? It's part of the Green Cross Code, so use it. It's a lifesaver, believe me. OK, nothing coming. Now go. Get the picture? Take it from me. Be smart, be safe.
This is Sam, a man who knows his road safety, always at the alert. Sam knows people get careless when ice cream vans are about. Stop! Phew, that was close. Quickly, Sam's on the spot. He points out the danger. Don't dash across the road. Use a zebra crossing. If there isn't one, stop. Look right, look left, then right again. If all is clear, cross the road. Like Sam, always help one another and never let anything distract you from road safety. Stop! That ice cream could have been you. Be like Sam. Help one another, and remember, don't dash across the road.
From time to time through history, the greatest need has been for facts. Facts to know where to build new schools, new houses, hospitals, factories, roads. We need facts to help fight sickness and disease. And that is why, on April the 25th, we are asking you to fill in the 1971 census. An army of men and women with light blue satchels will deliver and collect them from every household in Britain, with no exceptions. The form is secret. There is nothing to fear from completing it. When its contents have been analyzed, it'll be locked away for 100 years under guard. And all these officials are pledged to secrecy. Identify them by the blue satchel. It's the big form with a big job to do. We need the facts from you.
Hey, what do you think you're playing at? Come here. That's no way to cross the road, is it? Come over here, I'll show you a safe place to cross. Now here, there's no parked cars to block your view. Nothing coming? Sure? Off you go. And straight across, mind. And keep your eyes open. It's part of the Green Cross Code. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
Wear a helmet. Always.
Any time, in any street, is road safety time. And the road safety sheriff is on patrol. Things seem quiet in this town, but hello, what's that? A balloon. And that means someone on the other end. The road safety sheriff moves into action. Stop! A balloon can float out of danger, but not you. The road safety sheriff takes them aside. He shows them the danger of playing in the streets and of parked vehicles. Cross behind this lorry, and the car entering here won't see you until it's too late. Keep away from behind a car, bus, or lorry if you don't want this to happen. Take a tip from the road safety sheriff. Keep away from parked vehicles and cross where the road is clear. The new decimal money will be with us on D-Day, Decimal Day, the 15th of February, 1971. The pound will be divided into 100 new pence, and we'll do our decimal shopping in pounds and new pence only. Here are the new coins, 6 of them. The 3 silver ones are already in use. The 50 new pence, equal to 10 shillings. The 10 new pence, equal to 2 shillings. And the 5 new pence, equal to 1 shilling. The 3 copper coins will be introduced on D-Day. The 2 new pence, the new penny, and the new halfpenny. Remember, the pound stays the same. Only the coins which make up the pound are changing.
A general election means one thing. It's your chance to decide who you want as your Member of Parliament. And the only way to make your opinion felt is by voting. It's quite straightforward. If you're entitled to vote, you should get an official poll card. It'll tell you which polling station to go to, and it'll be open from 7 in the morning to 10 in the evening. Go early if you can. You don't need your poll card to vote, but it may save you time. Make sure you know who you want to vote for. At the polling station, give your name and address, and you'll be given a ballot paper. In the booth, look for your candidate's name and put an X against it. Nothing else. Fold the paper and put it in the ballot box. Remember, if anyone asks who you voted for, you don't have to tell them. Your vote is your business.
Don Barker's got a new car.
Can he drive it?
Can he drive it? He's a marvellous driver. I saw him turn right into Park Street the other day. He looked into his mirror, gave a clear signal, pulled just over to the crown of the road, well before he got to the turning, and then turned when it was clear. He's a better driver than you are.
And what's wrong with my driving?
Remember what happened when you turned right the other day?
Well, I didn't have an accident.
No, but lots of people do. We just want you to be as safe as Don Barker.
Ever seen a driver blow in the bag? It's getting to be a far more familiar sight than it used to be. Over 2,000 drivers are breathalyzed every week. Look at this chap. Had a marvellous time. Didn't think for 1 second. Now I'm not fit to drive. Then he makes a stupid mistake. Didn't think he'd ever be stopped and have to blow in the bag. We didn't consider himself a criminal. We'd only had a couple of drinks. But he'll lose his license. And unfortunately, his wife can't drive. But he was one of the lucky ones. Last December, a quarter of all the drivers killed were known to be over the limit. Last year, there were nearly 40,000 convictions. Make sure you're not added to this year's total. Drinking and driving. It's just not worth it.
When a drunken driver gets his license back,
How much?
his insurance can often double.
What, for third party?
Disqualified. Drinking and driving.
He'll find it expensive wherever he goes.
It's more than I paid for the motor.
And the real joke is, although he's allowed to drive,
What does that do, pal?
can he afford to?
I'll do you a favour. I'll buy the motor off you.
Most of us reckon we can handle our motors after a few pints. Take it easy and you don't attract the law. But what if some stupid git does this? Or this? Or this? Those few points will just cost you your license. So who's the stupid git now?
Right, I'm off then.
Forget the car when you go for a drink, and you can also forget the well-meant advice.
Are you sure you're okay to drive?
Forget the self-denial.
No thanks, mate. I'm driving.
You can even forget being a free taxi service.
Just a favour. Give us a lift, mate.
But most important, you can forget this. So if you really want to enjoy a drink, remember, when you fancy a jar, forget the car.
Before you say you'll never get hurt. Well, every single day, hundreds of people say it can't happen to me, but it does. And the difference between an ugly smash-up and just a nasty shake-up could be simply the seatbelt habit. So before any of us say, it can't happen to me, snap into that seatbelt habit. You know it makes sense.
If you imagine this is your car, then this is a motorcycle. Now, when you drive up to a main road, it's easy to see other cars. But because a motorcycle is a third of the width of a car, he's very hard to see. But he's dead easy to hurt. Nasty. And that's why, at junctions, I'm asking you to give a second thought for bikes. Stop. Think once for cars, hold it, then think again for bikes. If you want to avoid this, think once, think twice, think bike.
Diamonds are for danger. The diamond sign means a dangerous load. Look out for the diamond signs. They all mean danger. If there's an accident, when you see the diamond sign, keep away. Go to the nearest phone and dial 999. There might be an explosion or fumes that could kill you. diamonds are for danger. Keep away.
That's the key. This is my dad. That's my sister. This is my mum and my nan. She always waits there. She worries when we're not all home. Mum and Dad worry when I am. Mind you don't burn yourself. Dry yourself properly. You'll ruin your eyes. And every Saturday morning when me and Mum go shopping, my nan always tells me to look out for the traffic. Me! It's Mum she should be telling. When she wants to get to the shop opposite, she just takes off. She doesn't bother with the crossing. We've been told at school not to go between parked cars, but to use the crossings. And my mum says that's quite right when you're young. At home there's all that sit up and eat up, otherwise you won't grow up to be big and strong and healthy. And outside, where there are cars and lorries and buses wagging past, my mum should be wearing L-plates crossing the road. Good job she doesn't drive. My dad does, and he's very careful, but he doesn't always practice what he preaches. Me and him had been up in the park Sunday morning. Then he remembered we hadn't bought a car. I started walking to the subway, and he tells me to make us late for our dinner. It's very funny how grown-ups can always be right, even when they're wrong. Now, if anybody had tried that when he'd been driving, he'd have done his nut. The best, though, was when I was with Mum. Me and her were on our way home after getting me more shoes. Anyway, we have to cross the road, and she didn't even see the car coming. She was about to tell the driver what she thought about him, and he was out the car to do the same. And you know who he was? My dad, in our new car. We could have all finished up as mincemeat. And you tell me how they would have explained that to my nan.
Not so long ago, people with traffic problems usually found a quick answer. But today's drivers need to keep a cooler head. Do you leave enough space when following other vehicles? And if another car fills the gap, do you drop back? If you don't, this sort of thing can happen. Remember, keep your distance.
Honestly, love, as if I haven't got enough to do. All these blooming doors to cope with. Like getting to a checkpoint Charley round these corridors.
You want to wedge them open, Ada. Hang about. I've got one here, haven't I? There you go.
Oh, Terry, you are a good boy. That's better. I'll remember you in my will. Ta-ta.
Old Ada's cracking on about them fire doors again. They ought to leave them open all the time. It's stupid, isn't it? You coming in?
If there should be a fire where you work, the quickest way to make it spread is to wedge open a fire door. Fire doors prevent fire spreading, and they're a barrier against suffocating fumes and smoke, giving you enough time to escape to safety. Never wedge open a fire door, never lock them shut. Fire doors can save lives. Yours maybe.
You know, each of those cars carries a whole family. Yes, even him. He's probably got a wife and kids, depending on his arriving home safely. What are his chances? That much less if he doesn't snap into his seatbelt. There can be some pretty frightening results from accidents where people don't wear their seatbelts, and they don't have to be fatal. After all, what's a family with mum or dad laid up in hospital? I know that if you wear a seatbelt, you reduce your chances of being killed or seriously injured by half. So what I'm getting at is this. If you won't belt up for yourselves, then please do it for them, because your seatbelt is their security. And I'm going to be around for quite a while punching that message across. Right, here's my first problem. The driver who takes all the trouble in the world to put a seat belt on for a long drive along the motorway, but doesn't bother for just popping round the corner, because it's that popping round the corner drive that's the most dangerous, just when you think it's not worth belting up. Think about this one. Over 60% of all traffic accidents happen in built-up areas. So let's get into that seat belt habit. And let's make it automatic as closing the car door. After all, you wouldn't drive off without hearing this, would you? The clunk of the car door closing. Right, let's add another sound. The click of a seatbelt being fastened. Clunk, click. That makes sound sense, doesn't it? Never clunk without you click. You know, we could become a nation of clunk clickers. Is it all worth it? Well, if it's not for you, surely it is for them. Remember, this seatbelt is their security. See you, clunk clicker.
Never leave a fat pan unattended.
Polish a floor and put a rug on it. You might as well set a man trap.
Hurry up, bring them in the warm. All right. I'll put the kettle on.
And to think he'd only just come from the hospital.
This man was safe. Until now. He hasn't bothered to get the plug changed. From now on, he's in deadly danger. If the earth wire slips out, he won't notice. But as soon as it touches the live wire, and anyone who touches him also gets a shock. Fix things properly.
Oh, excuse me. You haven't done it.
Done what?
Or you've clunked, but you have not clicked. You haven't put your seatbelt on.
Oh, I'm not going to Blackpool when you're going around the corner.
Yeah, but you realise over 60% of all traffic accidents happen on trips like that. In fact, it's more likely on this sort of road than it is on a motorway.
Oh, no.
I promise you. You wear your seatbelt. It reduces your chances of being killed or seriously injured by half.
Well, I'll just forget.
You haven't been watching telly, have you? It's very easy to remember. You clunk, and then you click. Clunk, click.
Clunk, click?
Right, you clunk the car door.
And then you click the seatbelt.
Dead right. You're going to try it?
Okay.
Jolly good. Click. That's great.
Can I go now?
As long as you remember. Please remember to clunk, click, because your seatbelt is their security.
We recently road tested the current model of pedestrian. Morning cold start, poor. Fuel consumption, heavy. The model needed topping up throughout the day. Road holding, fair. But in bad conditions, brakes were unreliable. And although the same model has been in production for some time now, spare parts are hard to obtain. However,